What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Godzilla X Kong 3, aka the Monsterverse, one of my favorite franchises to talk about. So we have some pretty bad news, but it's not all bad. We've also got some new information to go over. Also, it wouldn't be a Warstu video without talking about some leaks and rumors. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around, what the frickin' are you doing? Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the pop culture, Monsterverse, Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse based content that I tried to cover. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. Also, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful face. And also I post a bunch of reels, and there is a channel over there where I post some stuff over there, which I'm not allowed to post on YouTube. And also check us out on Twitter, Push2G. Right, let's get into today's video. So this story broke a few days ago, but you know me, I don't just push a video out for the sake of it. So breaking news, and I'm actually really excited about this because Zelda is one of my favorite franchises ever, you know, and they just revealed the Switch 2 news as well. So it's not all bad news, but it is kind of bad news for Godzilla X Kong 3. So the Zelda film has got a release date of March 26, 2027, which is the same day as the up-and-coming Godzilla X Kong sequel, which it could be a bad thing for both movies, could be a good thing. As we know, Nintendo are trying to branch out now after the highly successful Super Mario Bros. Movie that grossed over $1 billion. I can see why Nintendo are trying to jump on other franchises and trying to make other movies. It's cool. Didn't really work with Pokemon, did it? No. But it did work with Super Mario Bros. So what's going to happen is one of them is probably going to have to move. As we know, Godzilla X Kong 3 is already in pre-production. It is rumoredly going to be shooting early April. As we know, they are shooting well ahead of the release date. But as we know, it's Legendary that takes care of this stuff. As you know, we've also got the next part of Dune coming out, aka Dune Messiah, which would be the third one in the franchise, starring Timothée Chalamet and everyone's favorite girl, Zendaya. They could easily slide Godzilla X Kong 3, which isn't the official title, but it's essentially a sequel to Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. They could easily move this release date to earlier in the month, but personally, I don't think this Zelda movie is going to make the mandate of that time slot realistically, but who knows? So it's not a massive disaster, but it could be if neither budges. I don't know how much you guys know, but when it comes to release date, the reason why they put the release date so far ahead of time is because other studios will pivot their release date and their schedule around other movies. Now, I guess you could say, yo, Oppenheimer and Barbie both did great. Barbie did over $1 billion. Oppenheimer did just under $1 billion. Not always the case. It's not always the case that two movies can release the same month or very close or the same week and they do well. Not generally the same case, but as we know, this up-and-coming summer, we've got the Jurassic World Rebirth movie. We've got the Fantastic Four movie. Careful with spoilers. There's rumors that Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are going to appear in the movies. Rest in peace, Superman. And we've got Superman. So 3 movies that could easily break $800 million, but it just depends. If you make a good movie, lots of people will go see it, irrespective of what else is coming out. So that is the bad news part of the title, because it is technically bad news. But also in the news, I find this fascinating. And you might already know it, but I get asked to do Monsterverse content all the time. The Godzilla X Kong novel confirms that Godzilla can telepathically communicate with Gia and understands her. And it reads like this. And then he notices something else, a little one standing on the stone hill head, aka Gia. She smiles at him, but her attention was on Godzilla. She did not move her hands, but Kong thought she was telling him something. Godzilla leaned towards Gia, but he did not open his mouth. Then he lifted his gaze to the winged one. Godzilla pointed his face to the sky and screamed. He knew. Now he understood. Kong roared. The winged one flapped her immense wings and rose between them. What does this confirm? It confirms that Godzilla is Space Godzilla because he has telepathy and he is going to be like the Monsterverse version of Mewtwo. or Mew, which is interesting. It's a new ability that he somehow developed, which is cool. And maybe that would be used because Gia is rumoredly going to be in the next movie. Also in the news, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, coming out. I know, because I got a bunch of memories from, you know, the UK event that I went to last year, the UK premiere for Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. As if it's been a whole year since we've had Monsterverse content. I still can't believe they're shooting this movie next month, literally a few days away, and it's going to take till 2027. I get it, post-production, CGI, VFX effects take a lot longer than it does with a live-action movie, but most of Godzilla movies, Monsterverse movies, are 90% live-action, you know, and Shimu, Kong, Scar King, and yeah, I get it, there's a lot of CGI and VFX to do, but come on, lads, 1 year with a bunch of people working. These movies do not have small budgets. They could smash it out in 2026 if they wanted to, but they probably won't, because these things take a long time. You don't want it to go down, you know, the Marvel route of getting really bad VFX, or, you know, like the DC route of getting, like, you know, really bad plot points and stuff. We know with the Monsterverse stuff, they take their time. Because let's be honest, I know some people thought like the Godzilla X Kong New Empire was a bit more goofier and you want them to go dark and gritty, which they are planning to do with this movie, is just let them cook, let them take time. Although it's frustrating as a fan, although we have Legacy of the Monsters Season 2 coming out on Apple TV, that is cool. So, the leaks and rumors that we've gone over recently, I don't need to go over them again. They are somewhat true, but from everything I understand here on the channel, and you know, when it comes to talking Monsterverse leaks and stuff, I don't really miss. Predominantly, most of the stuff I say is true. So the film will be a lot more darker. I think one thing that the narrative is, people are going with this MacGuffin is the egg, and they steal the egg from Hollow Earth. And that is why Godzilla is going to be more enraged and annoyed with humanity. It's sure, it does appear that baby Godzilla or junior Godzilla will be in this movie, and Mothra will return, and Warstu will return, and Suku, and a bunch of other characters. From my understanding, and Shimo will also appear. From my understanding, and the military will get involved and try to, like, you know, like subdue Shimo. I mean, they can't make Shimo a pivotal point of this movie, because that will be just recycling old information and like old things they did previously. The anti-Titan weapons are going to be so powerful, and the mechanized zombie Titans, it all sounds fascinating. But from everything I understand and hear, I know I've said this multiple times, they are trying to pivot towards space Godzilla appearing. And that's not far-fetched, because we've literally had Ghidorah, a 3-head alien, appear from somewhere. So it's not that far-fetched that Space Godzilla is going to appear. Now, I know Toho charges so much money to allow Legendary to use other Titans, and that's essentially why they made Shimo for the last movie. But, I mean, I'm not going to say I can 100% say this is true, but from what I understand, Space Godzilla is most likely going to appear in this movie as somewhat of a villain. I'm not saying he's the overall villain, but from my understanding, now, when I put stuff out there, I like to vet it with at least 2 different sources. That's why I'm not going to say 100% confirmed that Warstu was right, that Space Godzilla is the Donus and is the ultimate Titan. Because we do know when it gets to destroy all monsters, Destroyah is essentially going to be, you know, the end game level. And in fact, there's a really cool fan-made edit that I've seen popping around on Twitter of a bunch of different Kaiju Titans in one action sequence. And I'm sure they can get there, but I think the problem that they have with these movies at the moment is they could do an MCU universe. Now, I won't say DC, because DC has no universe. It's not really a cinematic universe yet, and that's the problem. They need to somehow try to pivot towards it being a cinematic universe, because they keep having team-up movies. They need to do like a Marvel-ized universe where we have we have a Godzilla movie, we have a Kong movie, we have a Warstu. Okay, I can't keep saying that. But you get my point. We need other movies in between a team-up movie. They keep like doing the equivalent of an Avengers movie with Godzilla and Kong just because it makes money. I get it. I do get it. But from what I understand, the plan is to have some kind of omnipotent kind of villain, almost like Space Godzilla. But I'm not sure if they're going to actually use Space Godzilla. They may just have some random alien Godzilla that somehow appears in this movie. Yeah, I know I've been saying that for like 3-4 years, but you know I'm pretty much good when it comes to information in the Monsterverse. So like always, guys, I can't wait for them to start shooting in April so we can actually see if we get some set photos. I can't wait for some real information to come out. I mean, I don't really care for when people say that the leaks and spoilers ruin movies. They don't. They really don't. Godzilla X Kong was so successful. So was Godzilla versus Kong. And my info was right on them too. So, I mean, take it with a pinch of salt if you want. But from what I understand, they are pivoting towards Space Godzilla appearing in this movie. So like always, guys, I'll catch ya in another video very soon. Catch ya later.